Hey everyone, Jeff here from Films at Home, and today I've got an A24 Shop exclusive 4K to review for you. Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the channel for this review. Today we're diving into an A24 Shop exclusive. They've been doing some super cool stuff lately. This one is The Lighthouse. Got this directly from the A24 Shop. It cost me 45 bucks, so we'll talk about that, but I'm going to cover the movie quickly. We'll also talk audio, packaging, and features, everything you get within this A24 exclusive, and then we'll talk about the differences between this release and the Arrow video release, which is being put out in the UK, also on 4K. So to kick things off, The Lighthouse is directed by one of my favorite up-and-coming directors, Robert Eggers. He did The Witch, he did The Lighthouse, then he did The Northman. So it's always the something with Robert Eggers, but his next one is Nosferatu. So I don't think it'll be the Nosferatu, but I'm very excited to see how he handles that because he nails the folk horror genre. And The Northman wasn't horror, but still it's folk stories. Like, he is, in my opinion, he is the Bob Dylan of folk movies. What Bob Dylan was to folk music, Robert Eggers is to folk movies. He's just killed it with all three of his releases, and I expect the same from Nosferatu. Now, The Lighthouse is probably his most divisive of the bunch. It's filmed in full frame. You got black bars on the left and the right of your screen. It's black and white, and it's an odd movie. It's really just to kind of look into isolation at this New England lighthouse and how that isolation can drive people insane. It's really only got two actors in it. It's Robert Pattinson, it's Willem Dafoe. They're both incredible. Some of the speech can be hard to make out. The accents are heavy. You know, it's definitely, it looks and feels like something that could have been released in the 1930s, 1920s. Like, it has such a unique feel to it. But I really enjoy it. I love a good New England folktale. That's why I love The Witch. That's why I love The Lighthouse. So I enjoyed it, and I was happy to buy it on 4K. I know it's not going to be for everybody. I know even The Witch and his other stuff is not for everybody, but it's one that I really like. And if you enjoy it, this is a great release to pick up. Now, The Lighthouse here from A24, this is one of their A24 collector's editions. It's going to be a much higher height than your Blu-ray. It's going to fit more in line with like their Midsommar release, their release of The Green Knight, which I have, and a couple others. So it's not your typical packaging by any means, but the 4K is brand new because The Lighthouse, even though it was released in 2019, does not have a 4K release. It probably should have at the time, but it never got one. So this is the first time the movie's come to 4K, and it has a Dolby Vision HDR color grade. Now, I thought the visuals on this were really nice. It's not the prettiest movie in the world, but when you take that black and white and you take a movie like this, which was shot on film, and you upgrade it to 4K resolution and you give it that Dolby Vision HDR, there's some pretty significant improvements over the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is still very solid, and this isn't going to be the biggest leap in quality, but the big thing for me with black and white is HDR, and specifically Dolby Vision HDR, given that that is dynamic and it can change scene to scene. You don't have to sort of lay the HDR color grade over the entire movie. So where there is a much darker moment in this movie, you can play with that. I thought the shadow details are far better here in the 4K. The contrast is far better. Like, blacks, or they're black. Like, you don't get any kind of grayish stuff. There's nothing going on. Like, black is black, white is white, gray is gray. The color scale there, the grayscale looks incredible, and that's got to be due to just the new color grade, the upgraded resolution, everything that helps on 4K. But I just really enjoyed revisiting this on the 4K format because I'd seen it on Blu-ray, and I thought, you know, there were a few moments where I was like, what's kind of going on there? It was a brand new experience watching it on the 4K disc. So A24 did a pretty good job with this, and it wasn't confirmed, but if I know from Robert Eggers and his past, you know, regrading of things like The Witch, he probably had a heavy hand in this and made sure that it looked the way he wanted it to, and I think that definitely helps when a director gets involved and gives their vision. I can't confirm he did that here, but it certainly has that feel to it. Now, on the audio side of things, it's the same 5.1 DTS HD track. I don't think it was redone. If it was redone, I couldn't tell the difference. I'm pretty sure it's the same exact track, which pretty solid, although I'll say you're definitely going to want to listen to this on a 5 channel. Like if you have a sound bar and it's mixing dialogue through the, the center channel with, music and surround, that's going to be a tough sell because the dialogue is already sort of hard to make out with the accents. And I did crank the volume up a couple notches to make sure dialogue was clear enough for me. That always seems to help, but also having a well-balanced center speaker, left and right, surrounds, I have it all separated out versus all being in one. I can't imagine listening to this on like a TV speaker or a lower end sound bar. So that could be an issue for some of you if you're on one of those setups. But I thought the 5.1 was great, and although it's not an upgrade, it's nice that they didn't screw it up. Now for the packaging, as I mentioned, you get this big sort of slip case, right? Very simplistic. The Lighthouse on the front, the Lighthouse on the spine. On the back, if we turn it, is actually like the full production credits and actors. Like that is kind of neat. And then opening it up, we've got this really cool booklet for the Lighthouse by Robert Eggers. You get this beautiful drawing, hand drawn on the front and the back. Opening up the inside, the first thing you get is a 4K disc. It's not in a sleeve. It's got its own little, pop out plastic piece there, so it snaps in, which is good. And then you have the booklet here from A24, which I'll briefly show you, but it has sort of this the Hark Triton Hark sequence there, all written out. It has some really great artwork, which is very cool. It also has storyboard excerpts, so that's like the opening of the movie. There's some storyboards from the like that staircase that they're on, Willem Dafoe here. Really, really cool. And then they also have the different breakouts of the production design. So if you want to dive into that, you've got some really cool like production design notes, the exterior of the building, the interior with blueprints. I mean, one of the more involved booklets that I've seen in terms of just what it gives you on the film. More great artwork, and then there's about 15 pages of behind the scenes photos, which are very neat as well. There's the lighthouse, there's the sort of the ocean and the dock. There's our two characters. So really neat stuff, like very cool work from A24. Now, as far as special features go, there is a couple exclusive items to this release. There's an interview with the composer, and there's also a walkthrough of the costume design with the costume designer from the film. And then this also carries over the legacy special features, which include a making of featurette, Robert Eggers commentary, and deleted scenes. So outside of that, that's sort of what you get with the collector's edition. You get this real high quality slipcase, you get that awesome booklet, you get the 4K release for the first time. There's no Blu-ray included, there's no digital code. You can buy a Blu-ray only version of this, but then you won't get the 4K, so you have to sort of pick and choose. Do you want Blu-ray? Do you want 4K? It's pricey, but if you love this movie and you love, Robert Eggers and his work, and I'm a big A24 fan, they've definitely got me locked into their A24 culture. I love what they're doing. Didn't seem like it was that bad for what you get. I mean, this booklet in presentation is really nice. You're getting the best presentation of the film. It's a very nice piece for your shelf. Like, if you're willing to shell out the money, this is a nice set. Have there been better releases for $45? Yeah, probably. I would say you're paying a bit of a premium for A24. They sort of charge like those Apple prices. Like, is an iPhone or are the AirPods that much better than something else? No, but they've got the brand and they've got that following, and they can charge that because they know people will still pay for it, like me. Now, it should be mentioned that this is coming out from Arrow Video, but that's going to be only in the UK. So if you're in the US, A24, whoever worked on the rights here, they've got the US rights to the 4K release of this on home video. In the UK, Arrow Video has the rights. Now, based on what I know, these are the exact same transfers. What I will say is the Arrow Video release might have more special features. It's not going to have this booklet. It's not going to have this packaging. They're going to do all their own packaging and everything. But if you know Arrow, you usually get some added bonus features. So if that's what you're more interested in, you can probably get that for even a little bit cheaper. I would guess like $35 to $30 that release day. You're going to have to import it if you're in the US, but if you're in the UK, that's a great option. If you're in the US and you just love A24, I mean, I'm putting this up on the shelf next to The Green Knight and Midsommar, so I knew I wanted this release of the movie, and that was a no-brainer, but I could see a lot of you waiting for the Arrow video release as well, and you're going to get the same great visuals. Both have Dolby Vision HDR masters, both have the same transfer, so you'll enjoy it either way. It'll just come down to which version you want for price, and then packaging and included bonus features. So thank you for watching this review and unboxing and breakdown of the Lighthouse on 4K. Hope it was helpful. As always, make sure you subscribe here on YouTube for the latest review videos, home entertainment news, my coming soon episode every week where I talk about what's new on 4K and Blu-ray, and of course the Films at Home podcast where I've been interviewing a ton of great people, from collectors to physical media enthusiasts to special features producers to people who work at different boutique labels to people who work at Paramount and Fox and Warner. Like, we've interviewed them all. We're up over 30 episodes, so go check that out. It's a great resource if you want to dive deep into this stuff. And of course, make sure you follow me on social media for all the latest and what's going on in Films at Home. So thank you again for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and I will talk to you all soon.